Good evening and welcome to Children of Bellevue's Toast to the Children, Home Edition 2021. Children of Bellevue was founded in 1949 to fund and implement programs that improve the health, well-being, and development of more than 25,000 children and teens who visit Bellevue Hospital each year. And now, please welcome your host for the evening, a great friend of our organization and America's top chef himself, Tom Colicchio.
Good evening, and welcome to Toast to the Children, Home Edition. I'm your host, Tom Colicchio, and now normally for this Children of Bellevue event, we gather together in one of my restaurants, elbow to elbow, and eat delicious food. But unfortunately, due to the COVID epidemic, we couldn't assemble in person this year, so we decided to order takeout this time and bring it to you. As you know, Children of Bellevue does extraordinary work. As an auxiliary of the iconic Bellevue Hospital, the country's oldest public hospital, which treats our most vulnerable New Yorkers no matter their ability to pay or their immigration status. Children of Bellevue works to bring non-medical services to the 25,000 children treated there each year. And for over 73 years, its programs have complemented the comprehensive medical care that Children of Bellevue receive, including areas like psychiatry, child life and development, child protection, reach out and read, and much more. Then came COVID. This past year, while COVID-19 challenged our healthcare workers at the hospital, the pandemic also affected many of our programs. Our staff leapt into action, quickly pivoting to offer many services virtually and diverting resources to provide relief to families struggling with the effects of the pandemic, including virtual learning and food insecurity. It was a truly heroic event, and for that, all you've done this year, we salute you. Tonight, you will hear from some of our program staff about the important work they do, along with some words from our board and those who support us. And as a special treat, we'll be joined by some surprise guests and Broadway musical performers. They were also hit really hard during this pandemic. We will also be presenting the Children's Champion Award to 3 incredible honorees who are using their work as lawyers, advocates, and artists to improve the lives of children and to those who are underrepresented. I want to take a moment to acknowledge our presenting sponsors, Genco and Kramer Levine, without whose generosity tonight would not be possible. My own connection to Children of Bellevue began about 27 years ago when my son was born at NYU, and then in the middle of the night shipped over to Bellevue. NYU didn't have beds at the time. And I spent about 2 months at Bellevue Hospital with my son. A couple weeks into our stay there, we were approached by a social worker who asked, at first I thought questions that were somewhat probing, and I felt a little uncomfortable about them, and I may have been a little short. Questions like, do you have diapers, and do you have a crib? In the summer, is your house air conditioned? Do you have adequate food? I think my response was, I have insurance too, leave me alone. And so, I answered those questions. Yes, we had a crib, we had food, we had an air conditioning, and yes, we have insurance. And so, I was somewhat I probably, from just spending too much time there, I was a little annoyed. But I ran into her into the hallway a few days later and apologized for being short and just asked the question, what happens if I said no? And she said, well, your baby can't go home. And all I could really think about was getting my child home. And so I said, well, what do you do in that case? And she said, well, there's an organization called Children of Bellevue, and they help. And so I reached out to Children of Bellevue, and first, I think the first thing I told them was, if there's a matter, if you need cribs or diapers, I have friends that are trying to get rid of their cribs. If it's diapers, we'll pay for diapers. We'll do whatever we can to get these children home. And but then I was invited to their first fundraiser, and it was a nice event. I think we raised about $20,000, and I made the comment that I think we could do better. And the response was, then fine, do it. And I took them up on it, and 24 and a half years in, I say 24 and a half is, I think this is our 25th year, but we want to celebrate our 25th with a much bigger party than a virtual party. So we'll call it 24 and a half. It's just been amazing to watch the impact that Children of Bellevue has on the neediest families and neediest children in our city. And it's just, it's been a tough year, and the work needs to continue. And as a chef, I gotta say, there is no mincing my words, pun intended, about why we're here tonight. Toast to the Children is a fundraiser. Our hat is in your hands, and to those of you that have already donated generously, we thank you for your contributions. To the rest, it's not too late. You can still text the number on your screen and give. And by donating a minimum of $25, you will automatically be eligible to win a gift certificate to 5 of New York's top restaurants, including Nobu, Gramercy Tavern, Danielle, and La Conda Verde. And 4 people who donate tonight will be picked at random to win a $250 gift certificate to one of these fabulous restaurants, and 1 lucky person will get a $300 gift certificate to My Place Craft. A virtual event can't replace the joy of gathering together, but tonight we've tried to create much of what we all love about our in-person event, including the delicious food and spirits. And some of you have received kits from Crafted Hospitality, and now invite you to sit back and enjoy as our first guest officially opens tonight's program, fittingly with a toast. Andre Darlington is an award-winning beverage columnist and restaurant critic. He joins us to raise a glass to the Children of Bellevue.
Good evening. My name is Andre Darlington, and I am the author of Booze Cruise, a tour of the world's essential mixed drinks. And I am honored to be here to help fundraise for Children of Bellevue's life-changing programs at Bellevue Hospital. I'm sure that many of you are eager to travel again, and tonight I'm going to transport you to Paris, the city of light, as I make one of my all-time favorite cocktails, the French 75. The French 75 was born in Paris after World War I. It's named after a field cannon that helped win the war, and I love it for its universal appeal. It's perfect as a welcome drink for cocktail parties, summer soirees, and it's one of the very few cocktails that exists in some form in all of my books. And for those of you that purchased the Children's Champion package, which includes a cheese and charcuterie box, or a Union Square Green Market box with dips, marinated olives, and house-spiced almonds from Craft at Home by Tom Colicchio, this cocktail is the perfect pairing. Imagine that, a cocktail that loves cheese and charcuterie. And for those of you that want to follow along, you should have received an electronic recipe card. So let's go ahead and make the drink. Now the French 75 is essentially a gin sour with the addition of bubbling. So we are going to shake the drink in a shaker. I'm going to add 1.5 ounces of gin. In this case, I'm using Citadel gin because it's French, but a good off-the-shelf gin is something like Beefeater. 1.5 ounces of the gin, 3/4 ounce lemon juice, and then just to round out the acidity and give the cocktail body, I'm going to add 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. I'm going to put my shakers together and shake that. Remember that you shake cocktails that have dairy, eggs, or citrus, and you stir cocktails that are spirituous, things like Manhattans and martinis. Separate our shaker. We're going to strain this into a champagne flute, but really any glass will do. Some people serve French 75s on ice. I like to serve them as a welcome drink in a champagne glass. So we'll fill that, and then we're going to add the all-important ingredient, a little bubbly, about 2 ounces of bubbly. 2 ounces of bubbly, and we could end there, but we're going to garnish the drink. Take a Y peeler on a little bit of lemon, and take the peel the long way and squeeze that zest over the cocktail. And as the French would say, voila! And now I would like to propose a toast to the doctors, caregivers, and professionals of Bellevue Hospital who live by the motto that it takes more than medicine for a child to thrive. And I want to thank you for your support of Children of Bellevue. And if you purchased a premium ticket tonight, you will receive my new book, Booze Cruise, a tour of the world's essential mixed drinks. Cheers. Oh, that's delicious.
Okay, so for our first little snack tonight, now we know that Toast to the Children, everyone's favorite, no, it's not my dish, it's Rebecca Charles at Polar Oyster Bar. Everyone loves the lobster roll, so I made a lobster roll for everyone. It's probably not going to be as good, but it's a crowd pleaser. So lobster roll first. I'm going to dig in. That's tasty. Okay, so for the next dish we have a spring pasta. Okay, so we'll start with a little olive oil in the pan and a selection of spring ingredients. So these are ramps, wild leeks, a little bit of that, and we have some peas. Yeah, we go, a good amount of peas. And what else? We have some fennel here, and there's some asparagus. We'll use that. All good stuff. Okay, and that's a good start. I have some ramp tops too. I'll add that in a second. So over here, a little bit of heat. We're going to sweat them. We're going to cook them a little bit. Let me grab a few artichokes too. We like artichokes. Artichokes there. Okay. So we're going to let that cook. And when it's all hot, it starts to cook, we're going to add some ramp tops, because they are just so tasty. And we have our pasta cooking in the water right here. This is cavatelli. It's our ricotta cavatelli that we make in-house. And so we're going to put a little salt on there. Okay. There's just a little bit of olive oil. And once our cavatelli is cooked, in a second, the first one popped up. When they float, they're cooked. Now these cavatelli, they're made with ricotta, so it's flour and ricotta. There's no egg in it. Holds all together nicely. And cook fresh. We're going to add that. Okay. Add it all. Get it all. Okay. Toss that together. Oh, look at that. Nice flames. Okay. And then we're going to add some pecorino cheese. Okay. Good pecorino. And let's just plate that up. It's of course a little bit more cheese and a little bit of crushed black pepper. There's no pepper in that pepper mill. Awesome, but you get the idea. Spring pasta, that's your second course. It's going to be delicious. Thank you for supporting us. Enjoy.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? Stand by me. If the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountains should crumble into the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Come on and stand, come on and stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, won't you stand by me? Come on and stand, come on and stand, come on and stand by me. Clap your hands. Stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? Come on and stand. I know you can stand by me.
Thank you, Kyle, for that wonderful song, which so perfectly captures the spirit of what Children of Bellevue does day in, day out. You may have seen Kyle sing Stand By Me when he starred in the recent revival of Smokey Joe's Cafe, and some of you probably recognize him from his starring role as Lola in Kinky Boots. And from theater to television, Bellevue Hospital is also the inspiration for the fictional hospital on the hit NBC drama New Amsterdam, based on Dr. Eric Mannheimer's memoir, 12 Patients, Life and Death at Bellevue Hospital. And from the cast, we are joined now by actor Mike Doyle.
Hey, I'm Mike Doyle. I am honored to be on New Amsterdam, a show set in a hospital inspired by Bellevue. Here I am on the set right now. And I wanted to raise a glass to Children of Bellevue and the amazing work they do each year in serving over 25,000 children in the New York City area. And they do this through 7 essential programs without regard to insurance or immigration status. So I raise a glass to you, Children of Bellevue, and the amazing, amazing work that you do.
Hi, good evening. I'm Jennifer Giussoni, Chair of the Board of Directors to Children of Bellevue. I'm really thrilled that you're joining us tonight to support our staff and volunteers who work quite tirelessly for our New York City children. At Children of Bellevue, we envision a future for the Bellevue Hospital community where all children can grow up healthy and fully equipped to achieve their full potential. A future where Bellevue's dedicated staff and volunteers have all of the resources they need to succeed and to build on our pioneering legacy. Children of Bellevue relies solely on charitable contributions from donors such as yourselves to really help us achieve this ambitious vision. Our programs can alleviate pain and fear and loneliness that come with childhood hospitalization. We work to enhance early development and school readiness, and this is really particularly helpful for those New York City children who are at risk of falling behind due to family poverty or other such conditions. The families we serve may be vulnerable. However, they are incredibly resilient, and we are deeply honored to be working with them. So your support is crucial. Our amazing board of directors, along with our incredible staff, do work tirelessly to raise funds to sustain these programs. So please consider donating today to help us continue to serve the more than 25,000 children that come to Bellevue Hospital each year. Text 844-937-3391, shown at the bottom of your screen, to donate. Thank you again for joining us tonight, and enjoy the rest of the program.
Each year, more than 9,000 children are seen in the pediatric clinic at Bellevue Hospital. The families visiting the clinic come from diverse cultural and linguistic backgrounds and tend to have limited economic and social resources. This means the children often lag in their language development. For many, by the time they enter kindergarten, they are already behind and are still behind when they reach 3rd grade. An early disadvantage is difficult to overcome. There is a solution to this problem. Through Bellevue's Reach Out and Read, children learn to love books, parents learn to love reading to their children, and all this while visiting their doctor.
It really helps the child develop those pre-reading skills, pre-writing skills. And we know that a lot of children unfortunately start behind, and that's not fair. So that's why we feel it's important to be able to provide the books at an early age, to be able to meet that need.
What's so important is right from the very beginning to link the idea of the book with that feeling of comfort because of being held and loved and read to and talked to. It's helping social and emotional development because there you are hearing the voice you most want to hear, and that voice is explaining the world and teaching you all the things you need to know in that happy, loving context.
Babies loved being held, they loved being spoken to in soft tones, and this really creates the stage for a positive interaction and bonding with our books.
Reach Out and Read has really defined the clinic's relationship with Bellevue's patient population, supporting parents as they do their best for their young children and making Bellevue an indispensable health and child development partner for so many families, and all for the cost of 13 books per child. For children and their parents at Bellevue's pediatric clinic, this is a story with a happy and important ending. Reach Out and Read is making a difference. Thank you for helping us put books in the hands and homes of the youngest and most at-risk New Yorkers.
Child Life is a practice and a philosophy that focuses on the emotional well-being of children and teens during their healthcare encounters or other life-changing events. Child Life services are provided during hospitalization, a visit to the clinic, or an unexpected trip to the emergency room. Child Life staff use play, creative arts, and other therapeutic modalities to help children and teens express and overcome their fears and anxieties about their illness or injury. Thanks to Children of Bellevue's vision, our program has been able to grow and develop for over 30 years.
We turn to Children of Bellevue for support in giving us gift cards and resources for families that were really experiencing food insecurity, as well as needs for diapers and other childcare items. We noticed as soon as the pandemic hit that we had to be there for our families. Bellevue's Child Life Department in the outpatient clinic provided support to all new mothers, and that also included the support from Children of Bellevue.
I'm super appreciative to the Children of Bellevue for being able to fund my grant that lets me to bring music to kids in both places, working with all different situations, whether it is mental illness or somebody who is about to go into surgery or recovering from surgery.
We are part of the Adolescent Mothers Group. And in the Adolescent Mothers Group, it's a specialty clinic where both the mothers and the children have their medical needs met at the same time.
Unfortunately, last year we had one of the mothers, a 17-year-old girl, who contracted COVID, and she had to be admitted here. We were able to provide those services, psychosocial support, emotional support, developmental support also to the grandmother, and give the family a sense of community in the middle of the pandemic.
And our clinic never stopped. We continued to see our families to make sure that all the families had their needs met during, the most difficult time that New York City has ever seen.
Hello, I'm Dr. Lori Logano. Our team provides evaluations for children who've been abused or neglected. We're also one of the few places in New York City that provides trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy for children and teens who have been affected by trauma. We also provide support for children and families in Bellevue who've been victims of crime. We thank Children of Bellevue for all the support for our work to be able to help these families. Thank you.
Quick rundown from our program. We work with kids ages 5 up to just shy of their 18th birthday. We provide services including individual therapy, group therapy, milieu therapy, and medication management for all the patients in our program. Just want to say a quick thank you to the Children of Bellevue individuals for all the support that they provide us here in the program. We could not do what we do without you guys.
I just want to start out by saying a quick thank you to the Children of Bellevue. We really value everything that you do for us here. Our program exists as part of the Bellevue Continuum of Mental Health Care Services to help keep these high-risk children and adolescents at home and to help keep them out of the hospitals the best that we can.
The Children of Bellevue program, the pluses of that program in my view are that that's an avenue that allows outside entities that are interested in helping, funding, incentive programs that are essential for our community of children within this department.
I'm Marielle. I'm one of the social workers in the partial program. Just wanted to say thank you to Children of Bellevue. We wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things that the kids enjoy without Children of Bellevue, so thank you so much.
Bellevue is one of the few hospitals in New York City that provides care in an acute setting for patients with autism who have minimal verbal skills. Providing care, especially good care, in a general psychiatric setting for patients with autism is a challenge. Children with autism have unique needs. Funding from Children of Bellevue has been integral in meeting these needs as we are able to provide developmentally appropriate toys, games, and activities, as well as multi-sensory supplies to help patients practice self-soothing. By providing the best care to these patients, we are able to more quickly discharge these youth back to their families and communities.
Children of Bellevue has been so helpful to us, particularly during the COVID pandemic, where we had to really rethink everything we've ever done before. We had to completely throw out all of our old supplies and toys and purchase new supplies and toys, but also ones that were disposable.
I wanted to speak of two programs that we have on our service continuum. One is the Home-Based Crisis Intervention Program, which is a 6 to 8 week crisis intervention program where clinicians go into the home and the community and the schools and work with the youth in working on interventions to prevent crisis. I also wanted to speak about our comprehensive psychiatric emergency program, which is one of the only ones in the country. We have a 6-bed extended observation unit that works with youth that come in with acute psychiatric need. And we also utilize therapeutic games and art supplies and different supplies to kind of help them while they're being assessed in the emergency room, while they're waiting for their assessments to be complete. And it's really been a great tool to use for them to help with calming strategies, to help them, have different ways of expressing themselves or keeping calm, while they're in the emergency room.
I'm up on the roof at Bellevue, and I wanted to record from up here because Children of Bellevue helped us get this set up a number of years ago, and we're really excited because with some donation that they got recently, some of the roof flooring is going to be redone, which is going to really update the space and make it safer again. So thank you, Children of Bellevue.
We evaluate children in moments of mental health crises where we have to determine if they are safe to go home, if they need to be admitted to our inpatient unit, or if they need to stay here with us for up to 72 hours for more observation and treatment.
We see kids anywhere as young as 4 up until almost 18 years of age.
And while in other parts of the hospitals, their tools might include scalpels or bandages, the tools that we use here are the things behind us that have been provided to us by Children of Bellevue. So we have systems for reward systems, both food and items, that as well as video games and radios that children can earn as part of doing the brave work of talking to us and telling us what's going wrong, following rules, managing uncomfortable big emotions while they're here. And these tools are really, really critical to allowing children to be safe and allow us to do our evaluations.
Yep. I've worked with the kids for about 8 or 9 years now. Your funds provide a lot of the art materials we use. We used a lot of art materials. Also provides video games, which the kids enjoy.
During COVID especially, it's been invaluable to have access to things like yoga blankets and yoga mats, and also props that I get to use with the kids in movement to keep them active, especially while they're here on the unit. So thank you so much for that.
And it's just been great coming on as a new member of this wonderful team. We use a lot of the money to buy supplies for drama therapy, and it's just been an immense help to the work that we do as a team. So thank you.
And once again, just want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Again, it's been a tough year personally and globally, and we could not have done what we've been able to do thus far without your donations and your caring hearts. So thank you, and we're going to continue to keep the play going. So yes, yes, yes.
Hola, buenos días, me presento, mi nombre es Briseida. Les vengo a compartir un poco de mi historia. Desde que he estado embarazada, gracias a Florencia, a Susana, a Ruth, desde mi embarazo. Y ahorita con mis niñas, ellas me han ayudado muchísimo emocionalmente, y en cualquier duda ellas siempre están ahí para ayudarme. Muchísimas gracias.
Hi, my name is Janae Lee, and I am sitting here in 8 North at Pediatrics. My daughter, Brooklyn Arner, was a patient here, and they took very good care of her. I want to especially thank Child Life for helping my child and giving her all the things that was needed while we were here. You need whatever it is, Bellevue is here, and they'll take care of you.
Each year at the Toast, Children of Bellevue honors 2 to 3 outstanding individuals for their success in community, industry, or philanthropy, and dedication to the mission of Children of Bellevue. Past winners of the Children's Champion Award include medical practitioners Jennifer F. Havens, MD, and Bernard Dwyer, MD, chefs Jacques Pepin and Jose Andres, and TV personality Al Roker, and actors Salinas Leiva and Uma Thurman, among others. This year, we honor another group of incredible people who are true champions of children and the underserved communities. They are linked by one incredible project that brought all 3 honorees together to bring attention to the crisis of children at the border. For their important and essential work on behalf of the vulnerable children, we award Elora Mukherjee, Waterwell, and the Broadway Advocacy Coalition the Children of Bellevue's Children's Champion Award. Our first honoree, Elora Mukherjee, is the director of the Immigrant Rights Clinic at Columbia Law School and a globally recognized advocate for immigrants, asylum seekers, and unaccompanied migrant children. She and her students have traveled to both sides of the Mexico-United States border, and in 2015, they were the first pro bono counsel representing individual asylum seekers, all mothers and children, at the newly opened detention center in Diley, Texas. For more than a decade, Elora has worked on issues related to enforcing the Flores Settlement Agreement, which requires that children be held in the least restrictive settings possible and guarantees access to basic hygiene and adequate nutrition. In 2019, her firsthand reports of the inhumane conditions of children at the U.S. border detention station sparked national and international outrage. She was invited to testify before Congress, where she detailed how these children were sick, dirty, frightened, and separated from family members. Our second honoree is the theater company Waterwell, which is dedicated to telling engrossing stories that grapple with complex civic questions. They worked with the Elora and the Broadway Advocacy Coalition to create the Flores Exhibits, a series of short videos based on Elora's work in which artists, lawyers, and community leaders read the legal testimonies of children held in the border facilities. The project has been screened in partnership with the education and advocacy organizations around the country and is designed to create meaningful dialogue about immigration policy in the United States. Waterwell's most recent theatrical production, The Courtroom, was a reenactment of one woman's deportation proceedings and was included in the New York Times Best Theater of 2019 list. For the past 11 years, the company has been in residence at the Professional Performing Arts School, where they led world-class conservatory-style training for 2,000 students. Through entertainment and arts education, they hope to inspire audiences and students to change their lives and the world in which they live. Founded in 2016 by members of the Broadway community as a direct response to the nation's pandemic of racism and police brutality, our third honoree, the Broadway Advocacy Coalition, is a multidisciplinary organization which unites artists, legal experts, and community leaders to create lasting impact on policy issues from criminal justice reform to education equity to immigration. Via partnerships with the Center for Institutional and Social Change at Columbia Law School, BAC has enabled collaborations with the public institutions including local offices like the New York City Council and the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office, community-based organizations like Exodus Transitional Community, and artists like Jesse Williams and Aja Nomi King and Lynn Nottage. Over the last year, Broadway Advocacy Coalition has used the theater industry as a microcosm for its work to change the broken system and has since been named to Variety's 2020 Broadway to Watch. BAC's recent work include gathering a virtual crowd of over 11,000 participants for a 3-day forum, Broadway for Black Lives Matter, launching a scholarship program to uplift the next generation of BIPOC theater makers, as well as continuing their partnership with Columbia Law School through their full semester course, The Theater of Change.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here this evening. My name is Elora Mukherjee. I am a clinical professor of law at Columbia Law School and director of the Immigrants' Rights Clinic. I have been working with children in federal immigration custody on and off for more than 15 years. I have served as a monitor for the Flores Settlement Agreement. The Flores Settlement Agreement requires the federal government to provide children who are in its custody for immigration purposes with access to basic health and welfare. It also requires the prompt release of children in federal immigration custody. In my role as a monitor for the Flores Settlement Agreement, I have interviewed children in federal immigration custody along the border and in other regions as well. And in the summer of 2019, specifically in June 2019, a small team of lawyers and I went to the Customs and Border Patrol facility in Clint, Texas. And there we uncovered conditions that were far more degrading and inhumane than I had ever seen in my previous years of doing this work. We found children who were dirty, who were hungry, who were distressed. We interviewed more than 70 children over the course of the week. Nearly every single one had been separated from a family member or even separated from a parent. Nearly every child didn't have enough food to eat. They were wearing stained clothing. Many of the children hadn't showered or bathed in days or weeks. Under federal law, children are not supposed to be held in Customs and Border Patrol facilities for any longer than 72 hours, but we found children who had been detained there for days, even weeks, even more than a month. The youngest child who we found there was only 4 months old. It was degrading, inhumane, it was shocking. And the team of lawyers and I decided that we needed to expose what was happening there. We gave media interviews about what we had witnessed, and by early July 2019, I testified before Congress about my findings. I am so grateful to be recognized by the Children of Bellevue. and to receive this beautiful, gorgeous award. It says Children's Champion 2021 Toast to the Children. I am particularly grateful to receive this award from the Children of Bellevue because this organization recognizes that children need tender love and care. Children must be nurtured from a very young age through adulthood so that they can grow and thrive. Children have health needs and medical needs, but attending to those needs alone is not enough. Children have emotional needs and social needs, and the Children of Bellevue step in to provide support for children who are vulnerable and who desperately need help. So I hope that each and every one of you contributes to and supports the Children of Bellevue. Thank you so very much.
We are so honored to receive this award from the Children of Bellevue. The work that your organization does to support the health and well-being of children, and particularly immigrant children, is extraordinary and urgent. For the Flores exhibits to be recognized by this community is quite humbling, and we are forever grateful.
As a team of artists who have dedicated our lives to telling stories that hope to impact and change the world and change the way that we see the world and each other, it was incredibly meaningful for us to have a chance to tell this project and this story. For me personally, I should also say as an immigrant, it's been really transformative, and it will probably stay with me until the end of my life.
Hi, this is Lee Sunday Evans. I'm the artistic director of Waterwell and part of the team that created the Flores exhibits. And I wanted to say one more time on behalf of all of us how incredibly honored we are to be in your esteemed company and to be recognized with this award. When we created this project, we didn't at all mean to draw attention to ourselves, but to find a new way for people to experience the stories of these young people who are coming across the US-Mexico border and were held in US immigration detention. So we want to dedicate this award to them, to all of their resilience and spirit and grit and heart and vulnerability and humanity, and say that we hope this project continues to be in some way a contribution to us all better understanding how our society needs to step up and serve our purpose as a leader in that part of our country's future. So thank you so sincerely for this incredible honor, and I wish we could all be there with you in person to celebrate, and I hope that that happens again sometime soon. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Ben Wexler, and I am the founding artistic director of the Broadway Advocacy Coalition, or BAC. And on behalf of BAC, we're so honored to receive this award alongside Elora Mukherjee and Waterwell for the Flores exhibits. So BAC is an organization that brings together artists, law and policymakers, and people who are directly impacted by systemic oppression and racism to dismantle those systems through amplifying the voices of those who are directly affected by it and making sure they're really heard. Not just heard, but heard. So the Flores exhibits really was an exercise in translating stories with empathy for these stories that really desperately needed to be heard. In 2019, there were thousands of children being detained illegally in horrific conditions on the US-Mexico border. And their voices could not often be heard directly because they could not be reached publicly. They were often lost to their families. So we came together and we figured out a way to use our resources and methodology to amplify these important narratives. We took sworn testimony that Elora and her crew had been gathering, brought in actors, brought in advocates, policymakers to read them on camera, to put them on a site, and to make sure that the general public could not turn away from the atrocities that were happening and continue to happen. That's where we are so aligned with the work of Children of Bellevue and why it's so important. They understand, as do we, that you need to view the whole person, no matter how young. You cannot put the blinders on and treat anybody as less than fully human, psychologically, physically, everything. And that's what the Flores exhibits was setting out to do, and that's what Children of Bellevue does in their work day to day. It's treating children as the full human beings that they deserve to be, and they deserve to be heard, and they deserve to be treated with care and dignity, and to be given a shot in the same way that you would your own child. And so we want to thank the Children of Bellevue for honoring us and express our gratitude to the organization and to our collaborators, Elora and Waterwell. Thank you very much.
Hello, I am Armando Correa, and I want to say congratulations, Children of Bellevue. I salute you for the great work you do in serving 25,000 children each year. Thank you for all that you do for New York's families.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Choksi, New York City's Health Commissioner. I have cherished being a part of Bellevue's historic, indispensable community. Particularly in times like this past year, its lineage of healing and healers have been a source of inspiration. And I could not be prouder to support Children of Bellevue, one of our country's most distinguished organizations, dedicated to the comprehensive health and well-being of pediatric patients and their families. COVID-19 has brought even greater challenges to children facing illness, poverty, disability, or hospitalization. But it's no surprise that Children of Bellevue has risen to these challenges and continued to provide safe, top quality care, support, and intervention to all whom they serve. They've been able to do this because of the dedication of their staff and the generosity of their donors. On behalf of New York's children, please consider contributing today.
Hi, this is Selena Slava, and I want to say a huge congratulations to the Children of Bellevue. I salute you for all the work that you do in serving 25,000 children every year. Thank you for everything that you do for New York families.
In his home country of Mexico, he has starred in many musicals such as Beauty and the Beast, Jesus Christ Superstar, and others, and has appeared in numerous TV shows and telenovelas. Here in New York City, you may have seen him on Broadway as Emilio Estefan, Gloria's husband, in On Your Feet. A survivor of cancer and an activist for immigrants everywhere, we are grateful he could join us tonight to support our work.
Somewhere, place for us, peace and quiet and open air. Wait for us somewhere. There's a time for us. Someday there'll be a time for us, time together with time to spare, time to learn and a time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a way of forgiving. Somewhere. There's a place for us somewhere, a place for us. Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Hold my hand somehow, someday,
Speaking of support, Children of Bellevue's work is entirely funded by charitable contributions, and we depend on the generosity of people like you to make these programs happen.
Hi everyone, I'm Shreya Mantri and I'm a co-chair with Children of Bellevue's Junior Board. I've always been interested in public health, and where else to be involved in it better than in New York City and at Bellevue Hospital in particular. I'm so proud to be a part of this organization, and even more proud about what this organization has accomplished over this last year, and I'm excited to celebrate that with all of you tonight. So for now, a virtual cheers will have to do, but I can't wait until next year when we get to celebrate all together in person. Cheers!
Hi, my name is Roberto Ayala, Communications Chair for the Junior Board at Children of Bellevue, and I'm involved because we get an opportunity to fundraise for an organization that provides more than medicine for over 25,000 children and teens that look like me, and why wouldn't I take that opportunity?
I'm Shannon Armstrong, one of the co-chairs of Children of Bellevue's Junior Board. My involvement with this incredible organization began about 4 years ago when I was given the opportunity to tour the facilities. I was blown away then, and continue to be, by all of the resources Bellevue Hospital provides, not just for the kids, but for their families and the entire New York City community as well. It really is amazing how much more than medicine they can provide. Thank you, Children of Bellevue, for being able to provide these resources. And of course, thank you to our Bellevue Hospital healthcare heroes. Now, more than ever, your work is so appreciated. I'm so excited to celebrate you all tonight. Cheers to you.
Congratulations, Children of Bellevue. Cheers to another great year.
Cheers!
Cheers! Our donors are the reason that we are able to help 25,000 kids each year. We want to thank a group of sponsors who have contributed at our highest levels that made tonight possible. Ernst & Young, Grant Avenue Capital, Jeff and Caroline Meckler, Cheryl Reich, Barbara Scott, and John Woburn Smith and Genco Shipping. None of our work would be possible without their support, and the support of donors who gave so generously tonight. Here in their own words are some of the reasons they believe so passionately in the work that we do.
Hi, my name is Renee Macadeg. I've been a supporter of Children of Bellevue since 2003, when Judy Keating invited me to the Toast. Fabulous event, of course. How could it not be, with tastings from some of New York City's best restaurants? When I asked about what the Toast and Children of Bellevue was, it was suggested I go for a tour. On the tour, I gained a much deeper understanding about what Bellevue Hospital does for kids and what Children of Bellevue does to support them. How could I not be a supporter from that day forward? Kids are our most vulnerable population, and a child in the hospital is even more so. The services Children of Bellevue provides are so needed, even more so today.
Hi, I'm Sunil Uman, and I am the husband to this lovely man over here, who will introduce himself in a moment, and just wanted to say that we're honored to be among the supporters of Children of Bellevue here tonight with you.
Hi, I'm Ron Lange. I'm a longtime supporter of Children of Bellevue since 2008. And I first became associated with Children of Bellevue through Toast to the Children. So I came for the food and stayed for the causes. And out of all of the life-altering programs that Children of Bellevue offers, the Reach Out and Read program was one that especially resonated with me. I grew up having grandparents and parents that loved reading to me. I had tons of books growing up and grew into a profession. And I know that's a luxury for some. And so what Reach Out and Read does in promoting literacy and making sure that every kid leaves the hospital with a book is just such a treasure. So we're very happy that you're here supporting all of these programs, and we look forward to seeing you next year at Toast to the Children in person. Good night.
Thanks, good night.
Thank you for joining us tonight as we celebrate and toast Children of Bellevue. We hope that you have learned a little more about the work of this incredible organization, and we humbly ask you for your continued support. And I want to say thank you to Jen Giasone, Nicole Shearman, and all my fellow board directors for their leadership. Thank you also to Judy Keating, Sarah Beth Beckmeyer, Shannon Armstrong, Gabrielle O'Donoghue, and our event chairs and the entire Toast committee. Mary Lee Kavikas, Nella Vera and our program staff and volunteers, and Maya Land and the entire staff at Craft and Hospitality who put together the food that some of you received this evening. We look forward to seeing you in person for the 25th anniversary Toast to the Children to take place on April 2022. Now, most restaurants only take reservations a few weeks in advance, but for you, we will make an exception, so please join us in the year. And to close out our evening, we're going to leave you with Brynn Williams. Her recent New York City appearances include parts in SpongeBob SquarePants and Lazarus, the David Bowie musical that played to great acclaim off-Broadway. Tonight, she ends our program with a song she sang in the Broadway show 13, the musical. Take it away, Brynn.
I saw the cover and I judged the book. I turned away without a second look. But now I see a brand new you. I told myself I better run and hide. I never noticed what was there inside. But now I see a brand new you. And I can't stop myself from loving every itty bitty thing you do. I see a brand new you. I didn't know where I was meant to be. I figured no one would be there for me. But now I see a brand new you. I never knew that you could understand, but I looked up and you reached out your hand. And now I see a brand new you. I open my eyes and there's a great big world around. I open my eyes and just look at what I found. I open my